my first question would be, could you just give us the brief of the evolution of Indian gaming and esports industry in past few years, especially past decade that we have been seeing it has certainly seen a surge, and what have been the key challenges and opportunities in the Indian gaming sector?
Yeah, I think gaming is honestly been on the bull run, especially since the last 3 years. I think a very big and a very strong factor to gaming actually growing is the India becoming the second largest smartphone market. I think also mobile data plans being the cheapest in the world here in India. The penetration of mobile phones, like I said, it's been crazy. And games like Free Fire, back in the day when it was not banned, and PUBG Mobile, they catching a lot of attention from the masses. It really took gaming altogether to another new level. It took gaming to another level to an extent that people. I mean, people never expected an esports tournament to get a primetime slot on Star Sports at 8 p.m. So I think three of these factors were very critical in growing gaming. Also, in terms of the distribution that happened through content, I think there was a very big rise of YouTube streamers and streaming platforms also back in the day, where there was Loco, Router, there was YouTube, and with all these streaming platforms actually coming into play, there was a lot of content around gaming that were being distributed. And also, Router and Loco were just streaming platforms that had games on it. So I think with the kind of distribution that gaming had, it was surreal in the last couple of years. And I think these were a couple of factors where that actually helped esports and gaming in India actually scale. There were a lot of challenges as well. There was a ban. There was a PUBG Mobile ban, and then BGMI also got banned. Free Fire also got banned. So the two of the most loved games in India, which were actually running esports altogether in India, they got banned. I think that was one of the biggest, uh, you know, factor of a decline in esports in the last couple of years. But after that, also there was a rise in computer gaming. People actually started looking to shift to playing Valorant, because again, content took a very major role where all these BGMI streamers and content creators, they started playing Valorant, and people actually started looking at them playing Valorant, and then there was a lot of penetration in uh, PC gaming here in India. But yeah, I think mainly these were like a couple of challenges and a couple of growth factors of the entire Indian gaming
Okay.
ecosystem.
So, Revenant recently merged with Spark. So could you just give us an overview of that and how you have been riding that to take your growth to next level?
So it was not a merger. I mean, I think a couple of people have called it a merger. It was not a merger. It was a collaboration. Xpark is not even an organization as such. It is just a esports team owned by content creator Scout. Scout has been exclusively, obviously, represented by us. So it only made sense to us that we actually support the best BGMI team as well, while we are you know participating in BGMI and other games. Plus, I think it was a very big sort of a takeover into the community, because Revenant and Xpark both had like a very strong fan base, and after the collaboration, the fan base has been number one in the country. In fact, marketing partner Hamil, they also sent us a whole message saying that we were the first ever team club for them from India to have sold maximum amount of jerseys in a day. So that also happened, and they were pretty surprised with that, because they also support teams like Hyderabad FC in ISL, and a lot of other Premier League teams as well. But in India, I mean, they saw a lot of potential into what we were building here at Revenant. So with Xpark, currently we have collaborated with them on BGMI since it is the only team in the history of mobile gaming to win two back-to-back majors. The team goes by the name now Revenant Xpark. Scout is also exclusively represented by us. He's become the brand ambassador of the brand. We've also collaborated with them on Pokemon Unite. And we're also now, because we see a lot of depth in that collaboration, we're going to be looking at more collaborations in other games as well. So currently, it is what it is, like what I told you, and then eventually it'll be more deeper.
So when we think about esports and gaming, our mind directly go to the urban cities and the development that we think of. T2 and T3 cities are something that have been somewhat, not completely, but somewhat neglected. So what are your takes on T2 and T3 cities gaming, and what Revenant is doing to nurture the talents from those cities?
So we don't generally nurture talent. We are an esports team. We only work with world class talent. So it's not really our job to nurture talent from tier two, tier three cities. There are companies like Trident Gaming who organize scrims and have players from different cities come and participate in mobile games. But what we're doing a lot of community led activities. We recently did like a whole meetup in Bombay on the 12th of November. We had around 10,000 people come for the meetup, try to come for the meetup. Obviously, the capacity was only at 4,000 people, but we had like 10,000 people line up at the meetup. So what we want to do with tier two, tier three cities is we want to do fan engagement and offline engagement campaigns with them, but not necessarily be a tournament organizer or a community aggregator or anything of that sort to actually help them grow. But whatever we can do from a fandom point of view, give back to the society through our IPs and stuff. That's what we're going to do with tier two, tier three cities. And I think with tier two, tier three cities, I've seen a lot of growth, especially with Free Fire and PUBG Mobile. So I think mobile gaming honestly is grown holistically all over India, not only tier two, tier three, but even the metros and tier ones.
So moving to next question, how can AI and machine learning technologies like these technologies can revolutionize the mobile gaming in India?
I think AI is still a part of gaming altogether.
Hmm.
Like whenever you're playing like a say you're playing a role playing game, when you're playing like a Red Dead Redemption 2 or you're playing GTA,
Hmm.
which is a one player game
Hmm.
in campaign mode. So whenever you're playing that game and you come across bots or people in India call them computer, they're all AI. And I think we've seen recently, like at least even even in mobile games in BGMI, the lobby is for 100 people, and just so that lobbies are created quickly. If there 80 people join the lobby, the game with itself will add AI bots for of 20.
Hmm.
So I think AI is honestly just been there in gaming, mobile gaming, and PC gaming to make things easier. They've also uh, they've also been added in PC gaming and mobile gaming so that while you're learning the game, the skill gap is less when you're playing against computer or high also at higher ranks. So I think it just does like some sort of I think I think it just does some sort of probably putting some uh, learning into people coming and playing the game, or there are also like a couple of other maps. There are a couple of other maps on Counter Strike called Refrag and stuff, where AI actually teaches you how to aim and how to place your crosshair correctly. So I think AI is very important in Indian gaming. Not Indian gaming, I think holistically AI is very important. And
So speaking of AI and technology, do you think cloud gaming has any scope in India, or if it has any, what to what extent it can grow in India?
I think cloud gaming altogether in the world only didn't work with Google Stadia and stuff like that. And it might work in India. I mean, to an extent that if it is a subscription based service and you're getting high end games to play on your phone and stuff, if it is a matter of playing a game on your phone, definitely cloud gaming has a lot of scope in India. But I think when it comes to PC gaming, I think people are very used to Steam and the Epic Store, so it is just easier for most people to use those applications to game. But I'm not sure if cloud gaming altogether can actually have like a very big impact uh, onto gaming on mobile phones, because like I said, penetration in India on mobile phones is a lot higher than uh, PC, and the PC market is very small. And I think cloud gaming itself never worked on PC, so I think India is far fetched.
You spoke about esports and gaming getting a spot on mainstream India, that is Star Sports. So these have been a growth in advertising and collaboration throughout last years.
Yeah.
So could you just tell us, are there any specific reasons or key points that advertisers look towards, or from your perspective, that you can offer to advertisers and brand throughout these collaborations and partnerships?
Yeah, so I think the biggest sort of stick value that gaming has is that when one is watching a stream, unlike cricket, the user has like a strong attention for 2 hours when they're watching a stream, or if they're watching a game, like if they're watching BGMI, their attention span is for 25 to 30 minutes when the entire map is going on. So obviously the user attention span is higher. Plus, I think brands also get a very strong shot at connecting with the Gen Zs and the millennials. I think it's the best sort of medium currently for brands to connect with the growing population in India. And it is a very strong pitch point for us also when we actually tell brands that I think they they put us into a lot of more confidence when they when they actually see that we are going to be making their brand reach the growing population.
Okay. So as 2025 is around the corner, so what does 2025 have for Indian gaming sector, and specifically for the Revenant?
So I think 2025 is, I think it's going to be probably the best year that is been there for gaming. I'm like really looking forward to to 2025. Like I was also talking about Trident Gaming, I think it is one of the other companies which is very different to any company that's actually coming to India. They're hyper focused on community building, supporting grassroots initiatives in India. Uh, apart from that, I think we are also going to start focusing and nurturing local talent and creating vibrant talent. We are starting a whole academy program next year. It's still in the works. I think we are very very excited to do that. I'm also very excited when it comes to Revenant. In terms of we have numerous partnerships that are lined up, both for our teams and the influencers. We've collaborated with one of the biggest publishers in the world to actually help them launch their game here in India. It's a card-based strategy game, which is going to be announced very soon. Also, I mean, I think the whole anticipation and the whole influx of newer brands entering the gaming and esports space is another aspect I'm very eager to see. Uh, I think it will really enhance and elevate the overall experience of gamers and fans alike. And I think 2025 overall should be a very very transformative year here for Indian gaming and esports altogether.
Okay. So I guess that would be it from my side. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time.
No worries. Thank you. Thank you so much.